Hey guys, this is Monica with the romoplans, and today we're going to set up my goal planner for 2026. And that just seems kind of crazy to me that we're already like this close to 2026. So, but here we are, and I want to make sure that I have everything set up for the new year so I can kind of just, it's a seamless transition. So I have a video talking all about my 2026 lineup and my plans for journals and planners and everything. There's a lot in that video, but one of the things that I talked about was my Goals with Laken planner. So I am part of the Goals with Laken community, and I love her approach to goal setting. And that's kind of how my brain works on how I set my goals. Even when I'm in the Moxie Life planner, I still kind of take this approach to my goal setting just because it works really well for me and the way my brain works. And so she has a printable planner that she does every year. You can get it by the quarter or by the year, and it just comes as a digital file. I went ahead and picked that up, and then I printed this on 7 by 9.25 paper. So it is a little bit of a labor of love. I printed it on 7 by 9.25 paper. This is the paper that I get on Amazon. I will have everything linked down below for you if you want to check it out. But I get this paper, it's blank, and it's 120 GSM, so it's pretty thick. I wouldn't say it's as thick as like planner, like my Moxie Life planner paper, but it is thick. And I didn't have 32-pound paper already, but I had this. And so I went ahead and did this. It did take a little bit of work for each page to get the pages to size the way that I wanted them to. So you can see when we flip through this, I don't print every page, and I kind of made some tweaks to it and how I laid out the planner. She has a flip through of the entire planner for you that goes through all of the pages and why she chose the pages and what her method is. So I will have that link down below as well if you want to see the entire flip through of that, but this is just what I am using, what I have found works for me. So I have these hot pink Live Love Posh discs. These are metal discs, and I got them in kind of the 1.25, I guess, classic size, and I hope they're enough. I always kind of get worried with printable planners. But if you know anything about Laken, you know that pink is kind of her signature color. That's the Plan with Laken color. So I had to get the pink discs for this. I also have this is my pile of label stickers. I have these from Kelva Plan I'm going to put off to the side. These are from, gosh, these are so old. There's like 2 sheets, like 2 of each sheet. And I don't even remember the brand that I got these from. I will try to find it. If I can find it, I will have it linked down below. But I've had these for a long time. And then these are from Live Love Posh. So these two are bigger. They come with the big dividers. And then these come with the classic dividers. So I went ahead and just pulled these off to the side. She has a lot of options for her, like the divider labels. And then in order to punch, and then I have all of the dividers that I need. So I am using a set of 6 side dividers, and then I'm using 1 top divider. I typically would want this to be on the left-hand side, but I already had this one that said this month, and that's what I want to label it as. So I went ahead and just grabbed this one. So we will put this off to the side for right now. And then this is the planner. So you can see it is pretty thick. And now her planner does not come with these quote pages. So when I say I did a little bit of finagling, I guess is the word, I did. So I actually pulled the quotes from her merch page, and then I pulled this from the actual planner, and I kind of created these. And so they're not like high res. So if you look at them really closely, you can tell that they're not a high res image. But I just liked it because that way when it's behind the divider, there's kind of a section, like a section divider that tells me. And then also I picked quotes to go along with each of the sections that I felt kind of fit with the sections. Another thing disclaimer I did want to make, if you look at her video, you will see that mine kind of looks stretched out a little bit. So it's like the words are taller and skinnier. That's just because I was resizing it for 7 by 9.25 paper. And if you were to print this off on 8.5 by 11 using like 82%, I think is the percentage, then it would be normal. Like it wouldn't be stretched out like that. I also took out all of the page numbers because I was moving things around. I liked it better without the page numbers. So everything's kind of clean and everything. And then the last thing that we have is this black cover. This is from the Happy Planner. I have like 3 of these. I like them, but the covers do kind of get a little bit messed up sometimes. I just need to take a cloth to them to kind of clean them. I just didn't do that yet, but I have that. And then I have this big punch, and that's what I use to punch all the papers. I will say with this 120 GSM paper, because it is thicker paper, you can only do like 2 sheets at a time. It says max is 3 sheets, but that's like 3 normal sheets. But for so like thicker paper like this, I would only do 2 sheets. Okay, so that's enough talking as far as like the intro goes. So let's go ahead and get started with the planning part of it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab 2 of these discs. These come with 11 discs. That way, if you are using this for a big planner, you have enough discs. I do not need these, so I'm just gonna put these in this container I got at Walmart, and these are like all the discs I have, so it actually fits very perfectly. So I'm just gonna put these in here. I really like it just because it just keeps them very well and it doesn't take up a lot of space. And then we'll just put that to the side. So these are kind of, they're kind of thick planners. So normally if I use the laminated covers, I will put the covers together to put the discs on them. With these, I find that these are a little bit too thick to do that. So I just go ahead and do them one by one. So we're just gonna pop these on, and these just pop on like this, and then they're good to go. And then we'll just pop on this cover too. Okay, so now we have this here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with, let me label my dividers. Now, the sections that I do is yearly. I have my yearly section, my wins section, and then my Q1 through Q4. Now, this one already has Q1 through Q4 on here, but of course it's not in the position that I need it to be in. So we have to change it. So I'm just gonna lift up, just use my X-Acto knife to kind of lift up these stickers here. They're easy to pop off, like they're easy to peel off. I just like to kind of, it just kind of helps lift them up in the beginning. And I'm not sure if I said it, but the dividers are from Live Left Posh too. So I've had them for a while. I like them. They're flexible and they're just clear, normal dividers. Okay. So the first one that we're gonna do is yearly. And I don't have it on here. Here we go. And I just keep all of these divider labels together. That way I can decide what I want. So we have yearly. Now the next section is wins, and there's not a wins label on here because it's very specialized. So I'm actually going to use inspo because for, you know, the wins, like your wins on your goals, they definitely serve as inspiration. So it fits. And then we'll do the Q1 through Q4. And I'm going to move this over here so I can kind of see it better with the black background. All right. And then, come on. Oh, that one's crooked. So let me see if I can fix that. And I could have just printed these on clear sticker paper and made it to where it said wins and everything. But since there was only one that I needed, I just didn't feel like I needed to go through that to do this. Okay, I'm gonna put this month off to the side, and then we're just gonna pop these in. Okay. So then we have the yearly section. So we're gonna start with the title page. So these are the reflection pages. So the yearly section is actually what I'm going to go through to set my 2026 goals. Now, Laken does have a yearly goal setting sessions, and it's 3 sessions. They are happening this month. So you don't need her goal planner to go through the sessions. She's really good at making all of her like goal setting sessions work no matter what kind of planner you have, but we just have these. So we're going to start with the reflection pages, and then we're going to go through what goals could matter, what goals do matter, and then what goals matter now. So it just has questions with that. And then we have our goal ideas. And then we have the actual kind of goal pages. So this is where we define our goal and then we break down our goal. And these pages are the ones that I love. So it really helps to have that breakdown in a spot where I can do this. So it's set up. So I set it up where I'm defining my goal on this page, and then I'm breaking it down on this page. And she gives enough for 8. So I went ahead and printed off all 8 because I don't know how many goals I'm going to set, but the max that I'm going to do is 8 goals. So I wanted to go ahead and just have enough just in case. And then I can always just pull out a page if I do less goals. And then because I didn't want to just have this blank, I went ahead and put the breakdown methods that she has. This comes in the appendix of the planner, and we have just the different breakdown methods. I did not print out the yearly goal page. So that page will go here. And I probably should have taken a cloth and wiped these metal discs, but since they're new. So that page will go here. So she has one where it goes from like 3 goals all the way up to 8 goals. And since I don't know how many goals that I'm going to be having, I just am going to wait and print that out once we figure that out. All right. So yeah, because these are brand new discs, they're kind of, you can take like a cloth or a dryer sheet and kind of wipe them down and they'll spin easier. All right, so then we have inspo, and so this is the one I did for the wins trackers. So it just says celebrate the little wins. And then it has celebrate your progress. So it just has like some reflection. And then it has this wins tracker for the year for each of your goals. It also, and she does 2 kinds of wins trackers this year. She has this one where you can just write down your wins, and then she has a progress tracker. So if your goal has actual steps, you can write down all your steps and check them off as the year goes by. I also like that she has why is this goal important to me. I just think that reminding yourself why your goals are important to you throughout the year is important, because there comes a time where you may forget. You may just, things may get hard with the goal, and it's nice to have that reminder of why you set that goal in the first place. And also, later on in the year, your why may not matter, and you may realize that doesn't matter, and do I actually want to keep this goal? So she has both. Because I don't know what my goals are, I went ahead and printed off both for each of my goals. And I may or may not use both of these, because some of them I may have the steps, but it may be nice to kind of have like a summary of my wins for each of the months too. So I went ahead and printed off these 2 pages for all 8. So that's just how those are. And then because she also does quarterly planners, she has these quarterly wins trackers as well. And this is something that you kind of don't need, but I went ahead and printed it all off because I just did. So I haven't really decided, like maybe I will, when we track our wins, I will go ahead and track them on this page, and then kind of put on the yearly page, like what's the top 1 or 2 wins for that month. So I haven't really decided that. So there's 8 for the first quarter. And then we have 8 for all of the other quarters. So we have the April, May, Junes. Then July, August, September. And then we have the last one, October, November, December. And because it just worked out the way that I set this up, it worked out. There's nothing on the back of this. I thought about putting dot grid on the back of this, but I just decided to keep this one blank. So now we're going to move into our first quarter. So I did the quote, small steps bring momentum, bring motivation, bring progress, because I think that's really important, especially at the beginning of the year, to remember that you don't have to do big steps to make progress on your goals. Those small steps will build that momentum throughout the year, and you'll be able to get that motivation and get progress on your goals. So I just felt like it fit for Q1 really well. So then for Q1, we have the Q1 overview, because and Q1 looks a little bit different because we've already set up the yearly goals and we've already broken them down, and it's so close together from when we set the yearly goals to the quarterly goals that we don't need like a ton of overview pages and checking in with our goals because we just set them. So then I have this dot grid page, and I did this for two reasons. Number one, I think that this is where it just falls, and she probably did it for the same reason. So I have a Q1 goal brainstorm, and I have this page if I just need more space. But then also what it does is it just helps these go really well. It just helps it flow. So then we have 8 of these, and these are the quarterly goal breakdown pages. So because they're just for the quarter, we don't need a full page of breakdowns. We have like a little under half a page for the breakdown, and then we also have our, why are we setting this goal? And I love quarterly goals. I think it helps me to kind of keep on track with things, and continues that breaking it down into small pieces of what do I want to do for the quarter, what do I want to do for the month, and everything. And then we have a calendar. Now this is a Monday start. So when you get the planner, you get 4 versions. You get 2 Monday start versions and 2 Sunday start versions. And then you have like a Monday with a progress bar on the monthly tracker that I'll show you when we get there. And then you have Monday with the box, and then a Sunday with progress bar and a Sunday with the box. So on the Monday starts, then your calendar will start on Monday. I don't really use this monthly calendar, but again, there are certain pages that I want to be facing each other. And in order to do that, I needed this calendar. So we're going to leave it in here. I may use it, I may not use it. But then we have our January overview. And then we have our January brainstorm. And then we have the monthly tracker. So this, I like to just have the box, but she also has one where you have a bar that you can highlight in or color in your progress and everything. So you can write down your like one-time steps, if you scheduled them, if you made progress, and if you completed them, your weekly steps, if you scheduled them, and then for the week, and then your daily steps, what they are, if you scheduled them in your planner, and then you can track them as well. So that is the monthly tracker. And then we have a dot grid page, again, just for the flow of the planner. So then we go into the January reflection, and then the February calendar. So then February and March go through the same thing. So you have the overview, you have the brainstorm, you have the tracker, then you have the reflection, and then your March overview, the brainstorm, and the tracker. And that's just kind of how they work. It's set up. All right, so then we have Q2. And then I did small progress is still progress, because, your quarter one you may have made a lot of progress in quarter one. You may have made a little bit of progress, but I like this reminder that no matter what amount of progress you made in quarter one, it's still progress. So to just kind of keep going. So then I have a Q2 goal brainstorm. So as we go through quarter one, if anything pops up that, hey, I may want to do that for quarter two, then I can go ahead and put it here. And again, just like with the yearly sections, the quarterly sections, whenever I set my quarterly goals, this will go here. I just haven't printed them out yet because I don't know how many that I'm gonna have. So the plan is to, once I know how many quarterly goals I have, then I will go ahead and print out that page and put it here. So then we have the Q1 goals check-in, and there are 2 goals per page. So we have 4 of these. And then we're gonna check in with our annual goals, and it's the same thing. There's 2 goals per page. So I have enough for 8 goals. So then we have the Q2 overview, and then this one is when we start. This is just something that's different for Q2 through Q4 that we didn't have in Q1. So we have the Q2 overview that has the questions, and then we have a calendar view of Q2. So that way, I do use this calendar because when we're going through looking at the quarter and seeing what's coming up, I like to mark, like if I know that we're going to be on a trip, then I will go ahead and mark that off. If I know that my daughter is going to be out of school, I'll go ahead and mark that off, especially things that are going to affect my time. I will go ahead and mark that off so I can kind of see. So like in April, I'm going to be going on a trip with my mom from like the 25th through the 2nd. So I know this whole week, like I'm basically losing the last week, almost week and a half in April. So my April, I don't need to stack my goals in April, and that helps me see that. Yeah, then we have a goal brainstorm and the dot grid page, and then you have the quarterly goal breakdown. So this is the same thing that quarter one had, and I just have 8 of these. And then you go into the April calendar. And then April overview. I do like, if I do use the April calendar, I like having the overviews together. So I can see the calendar view and I can have the questions. And then you have the brainstorm. And then your tracker with your dot grid. And then your reflection. And then it just goes through the rest of the month. Or rest of the quarter. Okay. So then we're going into quarter 3. And then for Q3, I chose the quote, changing your goals is not failing, it is prioritizing. Because it's okay to change your goals, because we can't, you know, in December, we don't know everything that's going to happen in the next year. I think the last 5-6 years have really taught us that. So I just felt like that kind of worked with Q3 very well. So then we have the Q3 brainstorm, and then we're going to check in with our Q2 goals. And we're getting pretty full on the discs. Okay. So then once we check in with our quarterly goals, we're going to check in with our annual goals. And then we are going to, we just have that same overview and then brainstorm with the dot grid, and then we're going to break down our quarterly goals. So we're going to break down our quarterly goals, and then we'll just go through July. We have the rest of the quarter. And then we'll end with the September reflection. So we are in the last section, and it's a good thing because I am running out of space. And I know part of it is because I put in all of those win tracker pages. So as we go through the first quarter, if I feel like it's too much for me to track it on like the January, February, March page and then move that stuff over to the yearly page, I will just take those out. Like I may take out the ones that are for the quarter breakdown and everything, so that will give us some more space. And if I don't have any goals, then I'll be removing some pages. All right, so we are in Q4 and I use done is better than perfect on here. So, because I just feel like no matter what happens at the end of the year, sometimes our goals, we knock it out of the park and we do it great. And then sometimes we barely get it done, but barely getting it done, it's still done. So I just kind of wanted the quotes to match kind of what I need to hear as we go throughout the year, like what's helpful for me as we get to those quarters. And I've been doing this for the last couple of years, so I kind of know like where I fall and what I need to hear, and what's going to be helpful. Okay, so Q4, we're just going through the same thing. So we have the breakdown of the goals, and then we go through the months. Then we go through the months here. And I'm just going to put the rest on this side. All right. So then at the end of it, you do have a December reflection. So you can reflect on December, and then you have a 2027 goal brainstorm. So as you go throughout the year and you think of things that you may want to have a goal for the next year, there's a place to go ahead and put that down. And so then we have this. The other thing that I keep with my goal planner or near my goal planner is this done is better than perfect pouch. It's like a pencil pouch that she has, and I like it because she made it long enough where if you have like a dot marker, it's going to keep it. So like if you have a dot marker or Tombow, like those really long markers that's hard to find storage for, will fit in here. So what I do is once I decide my goals and then what I will decide my color coding, I will put the dot markers, and if I have like highlighters in here, if I do like zig markers and mild liners, I'll put those in here. Or I'm thinking about getting some dot markers that have a thicker marker on the other end of it. So, but I'll have the color coding in here, and then I'll put in a black Papermate flare. So when I get ready to work on my goals, I just have to grab my planner and this pouch, and it'll have everything that I need, because there's not a pen loop in here. And then I don't really use stickers in here very much at all. But if there's anything that I need, like paper wise, or if I do decide to do some kind of stickers, then there is a pocket here and there is a pocket here, so I can put that in there. So that is my goal planner for the 2026. And like I said, it'll just have that pouch with this pin in here, along with some color coding markers. Color coding helps me because it kind of helps my brain and trains my brain. When I see this color, this is what I'm thinking about. So, but I really like these pink discs with the black cover. I think it just goes really well with Laken's brand too, and everything. So let me know down below if you have a goal planner for next year and what you're using. I know there's a lot of good ones out there, and I definitely have combined them in the past too. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead, hit that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss any more of my videos. I hope you have a great day.